How old were you when you got diagnosed with dyslexia?
Well, it all started when I was probably about 8 years old. I got tested by the state, but they didn't know that I had dyslexia. When they diagnosed me first, they're like, oh, he just has attention disorder, but you know what, we'll just put him on Adderall and just see how he does, because he doesn't have an actual disability at the time. But as I got older, I wasn't able to focus, and nothing was working. I went to St. Joe's for high school in Kenmore, and the assignments were just not working. They were super difficult. The teachers, they had a sheet for me of what they were supposed to accommodate at the time, but they didn't listen to that. They didn't care. And so my parents had me privately tested I was probably about 15 at the time. I was a freshman in high school, and they found out that I had dyslexia and ADD, which is attention disorder. So freshman year of high school didn't go very well. I ended up getting put on academic probation, or academic suspension also. So I was not allowed to play. I wasn't allowed to play hockey, and I had made their varsity team that year, so I was not allowed to play, which sucked. It stunk a lot. But that school, I stayed there only for the year, and I found a school called the Buffalo Academy of Scholars, I went and shadowed there probably in the springtime, and I loved the school. Which was really nice about it, though, was it was one-on-one, and it was 1v1 with no homework, which is awesome. Yeah, it's a plus. I had extended time on any test I had to take. They could accommodate my disability, and they told me that they would show me how to overcome that any way they could help. So my sophomore year, I did not go back to St. Joe's. I ended up going to this school, and my grades were great. They helped me overcome dyslexia by showing me different ways to study for tests, showing me different ways how to accomplish my assignments. They showed me more of, because for reading assignments, I'm not great at just reading because I get distracted a lot. I can get distracted from anything possible, even the smallest stuff. But I'm really good at, the teachers used to do this one thing, they would read a couple pages, then I'd read a couple pages, but then they figured out that audiobooks were the best thing for me. So I started using those, and it was great. So it was a lot easier for me. And since then, I've used a lot of audiobooks. And another huge thing for me is I get all my tests read to me.
So what challenges did you face with dyslexia?
Well, I've been told by teachers that they go, you better work harder, it's not going to get any easier and stuff like that. And that was before they knew I was diagnosed with dyslexia, and they were telling me that they were just telling me that I wasn't working hard, even though I was really studying for tests and everything, but I just didn't understand it and stuff like that. But since I've been able to think about my disability and stuff like that, and been able to work with teachers, and they've been able to know what I've been going through my whole life, and showing that it is really hard for me to comprehend information, and it takes me longer to know about it and know what they're talking about. It's been a lot easier. Even since I've started college, I thought in the beginning it was really hard, and I was only going part-time to start. I was only taking 2 classes, but after the first semester, I was like, oh, this is actually not that hard. Since I've been studying a little more often, and taking actually time to think about the assignments and everything, so that's definitely helped me. And I have to thank my old school for that, though. For when I went there for the academy, I went there for 3 years. The teachers really showed me what I need to do and how to be successful. So since then, like, the challenges have come a lot easier to me. Just knowing what I have to do, making sure I write down the assignments to make sure I don't miss anything and everything. And I used to type my notes all the time, but I did learn that, that I'm not learning it. If I handwrite it, I learn it a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even after I handwrite it for like tests, I'll even rewrite my notes sometimes because I just learn it a lot faster doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that really helps. But yeah, that's pretty much how I've done with challenges and everything throughout my life.
Have any teachers, like, not helped you out when you, like, been struggling and stuff?
Yes, actually, it's when I was at St. Joe's, my biology teacher was just brutal. He did not help me at all, and it was horrible, and we did not get along at all. But besides him, no, every teacher was very accommodating. At St. Joe's even, I just knew that place just wasn't the right fit for me when I was there. So I ended up leaving after my freshman year, like I said. And they did have a research room there, which was really nice. And the research teacher is more like a teacher there that's just to help you more and give you your extra time for tests, extra help, homework, anything you need. And I would go to her during all study halls and after school. So she was really helpful. But, and I wouldn't say like St. Joe's is a bad school, but it just wasn't a good fit for me. But besides the biology teacher, no, everyone actually was pretty good to me. When I was back in middle school, I went to St. Mark's school, and all the teachers were great to me. And even though they didn't know that I had a disability at the time, they were all very accommodating and wanting to help. So it was very helpful.
Yeah, that's good. So how did you overcome these challenges?
Well, since I was diagnosed, that was always my goal, was to overcome this and make sure I could be successful. And you know what? My teachers helped me every step of the way to make sure that I could do assignments. And my goal for life is to be a journalist. And like, a bunch of people think like dyslexia, you get letters confused and stuff like that. I don't really get letters confused. Mm-hmm. It just takes me longer to read assignments and like comprehend. But like, I want to be like a sports writer, and it doesn't take me very long though to understand what's going on, like, because it's just a topic I'm very interested in, and I played hockey my whole life. Like, I know almost everything about that. So, accomplishing it though, I've taken a lot more time into doing my assignments, making sure I understand the material, and going about it. Just making sure every day that I'm 100% ready to go, and make sure that if I need help or if I need anything, I go to the teacher and be like, I don't understand this. Can you please explain it again? And always the teachers at Hilbert are very understandable about that. And they're like, yes, we can help you with this. Or they'll be like, you know what, here, go to the academic center, and we'll get you a tutor. Mm-hmm. So, you know what, they've helped a lot, and that's been a big help. Alright, so what do you think about the Bill season last year?
I think that they definitely didn't do as great as they should have done. I think the injuries definitely played a big factor in that. I think Allen missing those games definitely hurt them. Their offense being as bad as it was, having no really good wide receivers definitely hurt them. But I mean, for all the injuries and stuff they had and the tough schedule they faced, they didn't do terrible. So,
did it upset you when Josh Allen got injured?
Yeah, I really loved watching Josh Allen play the whole season. Really exciting. And then when he went down, it kind of was like, they're definitely not going to win without him. So, what's the point of even watching?
Yeah, no. And then when he made that unbelievable move, was it Minnesota?
Oh, the hurdle?
Yeah.
The hurdle, that was crazy. That was like one of those things where I feel like the coach was like, yeah, that was awesome, but like never do that again, so he doesn't get injured. But it was definitely awesome.
But the draft, we did have a good pick in the draft.
Yeah, Ed Oliver, I like him. A lot of people are saying he was going to go first overall.
Mm-hmm.
We got him at 9, which is insane.
Incredible.
They were actually I read that they were going to trade up to try and get him. So not trading up and keeping all those extra draft assets was definitely a huge move.
Yeah, and then once free agency came back in to play, we picked up Tyreek Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Allen's going to be the guy going forward, and you have Matt Barkley as the backup, but I mean, he's a hometown kid.
I'm thinking that he could give Barkley a run for his money. Though.
Yeah, definitely for the backup job. And plus, it's a hometown kid, why not?
Is he
give
from
it
Buffalo?
a try? He's actually from Michigan, but he's played
in
at
UB.
UB for 4 years, so I guess he's not technically a hometown kid, but, close enough.
Yeah, but he's Josh Allen's height. So
yeah.
6'8" or something?
6'7", yeah. He's got a huge arm.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was great last year in college.
Yeah, he's been training with Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's trainer too, so, definitely plays a lot like Allen. He's athletic.
Now, what do you think of the Bills' future?
I really like it. I think that they revamped their offensive line, which should be solid next year. They got some good wide receivers. I still think they lack a true superstar number one receiver. I mean, maybe Robert Foster or Zay Jones can step into that role. But, I mean, other than that, I think they're looking really good for the future.
Do you see any hope in Zay Jones?
I do. I think he had a rough first year, but the second year, he started getting more targets, and I think he ended the year really strong. But overall, I thought he had a great year.
Well, what do you think about him when he almost jumped through the window?
That, I don't know. I don't know what happened or what he was thinking. I feel like he had to be on something.
Well, he did say he saw Jesus.
Yeah, he's definitely not a good look for him. But, I mean, stuff happens. You just got to get over it. But he did really well, I think.
He did well last season. Do you think Josh Allen is going to be the quarterback for the next few seasons? Or
I think so for sure. I mean, he did have a rough start to his rookie season, but at the same time, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Rarely do rookies come in and
Unless
play
you're
amazing. Yeah, unless you're Mahomes. But I think he had a pretty good season. Obviously, some things, like some of his decisions, like throwing the ball or against Green Bay, it was towards the end of half, he just threw the ball up and he got intercepted.
Yeah.
So I think once he works on that, I think he definitely has potential to be a very good quarterback.
So you think we could build a team around Ed Oliver and Josh Allen?
Absolutely. Ed Oliver, he's going to be one of the stars of our defense for years to come. Same thing with Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I've seen from Josh Allen last year, and from what I've heard about Oliver, he's going to be a superstar, so I think they're definitely good.
Now, for coaching-wise, do you think Sean McDermott is the right fit for the Bills?
Well, he had a decent first year. Last year, obviously, we had a worse team, but I think there's definitely some things that he might have done that were bad, in games, like not challenging something or doing something like that. But overall, I like what he brings to the table, and I like his mentality, and I like how he wants to make sure everyone's 100% focused on football, no, criminals or anything like that, So, but he's also not afraid to take a chance on someone that may have messed up in the past, so I think he is.
So, switching topics now, though. The Sabres. Who do you think we're going to take in, the draft? Do you have any idea?
There's a dude named Cole Caulfield, something like that. He's really small. I think he's 5'7", which some people think is a disadvantage, but there's plenty of others, like Johnny Gaudreau, Cam Atkinson. All these dudes are small, but they still can succeed. Yeah, they can succeed. They succeeded at the next level. Yeah. And he just set the record for most goals in the U18 World.
Yep.
I think he had 12 goals in 4 or 5 games, which is just crazy.
That's crazy.
So I think him, or there's a guy, Alex Turcotte. A lot of people say he plays like Austin Matthews. He's really good. Watch some of his highlights. So I mean, I'd be fine with either of them at pick 7.
Pick 7, yeah. Do you think there's any way we might trade up in the draft?
I mean, it's definitely possible. Depends what we'd have to give up, and if Byro would want to give up. But I mean, and plus it depends on the drop off from the top 3 picks to people who could get at 7. So I mean, it's definitely worth a look, and I'm sure Botwell would look at that, but, I mean, you never know.
Now, what do you think? We took Rasmus Dahlin first overall last year. What did you think of his rookie season?
I think he had a phenomenal rookie season. I mean, it's very rare that an 18-year-old plays in the NHL, and especially a defenseman. And if you look at the records, he was second most points by an 18-year-old in their first season. He was like 10 back of Housley, and I think he really excelled at passing and skating. And he was also, there was definitely some times on defense that he, made a mistake or got beat, but I mean, that's going to happen. Same thing, as rookies, the first year, adjusting, coming over from Sweden. So I think overall, though, he had a really great rookie season.
Now, do you think Eichel is the main guy to have, or is he going to go down?
No, absolutely. He's if you look at what he did this year, 70 or 83 points, I think, in like 75 games, over a point a game. And you can see sometimes he'll just take over games. For example, the Maple Leafs game, the one in Buffalo where we lost in overtime, he had both of our goals, and he was really just all over the ice. So I think he definitely could be.
Now, overall, the Bills and the Sabres, do you think they're going to be contenders for the playoffs next year?
I think the Bills definitely. Like I said, they have a solid defense. They revamped their offensive line. They got some good wide receivers. Josh Allen should hopefully have a great year. The Sabres, I feel like it depends on who we draft and who we pick up in free agency. I feel like we need another defenseman, a second-line center, among other things. So I think if they can get that, get a good coach who knows what he's doing, I think they definitely could push for the playoffs.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Of course, my guy. Hold on.